In the serene village of Nazareth, often depicted as a small and peaceful settlement in biblical narratives, a young woman named Mary received a life altering message from an angel. Nazareth, located in the historical region of Galilee, is traditionally seen as a rural, humble place imbued with tranquility, setting the stage for profound divine interventions. This serenity is significant, as it serves as the backdrop for the extraordinary event of the Annunciation, where Mary learns she will conceive Jesus. In relation to the main topic, Nazareth's tranquility underscores the idea that pivotal, world changing moments often originate in seemingly inconspicuous places, reminding us of the potential for greatness in the humblest of beginnings. Two examples highlight Nazareth's importance. First, it is the place where Mary, through her faith and acceptance, becomes a central figure in Christian theology, illustrating how a quiet spiritual setting can foster monumental events. Second, the village symbolizes the divine choice to manifest grace and purpose in ordinary settings, emphasizing that significant spiritual revelations do not require grandiose locales. Opinions that support this idea focus on the theological value of humility and simplicity, essential tenets in Christian teachings. Many theologians argue that Nazareth's modesty amplifies the story's message of hope and redemption, suggesting that spiritual beauty and strength often arise in quiet, unassuming contexts. However, challenges and controversies do exist. Some scholars contest the historical accuracy of the nativity narratives or debate the geographical details related to Nazareth. Critics may argue that these accounts were molded by theological motifs rather than historical facts, suggesting alternative interpretations of these narratives and questioning the portrayal of Nazareth as serene and significant. Nazareth's role in the story of Jesus' birth is deeply interconnected with other aspects of the narrative. It sets into motion the events leading to the fulfillment of ancient prophecies, binding it to the journey to Bethlehem and the eventual birth of Jesus. The quietude of Nazareth starkly contrasts with the later dramatic episodes in Jesus' life, highlighting a theme of divine intervention that begins in simplicity and unfolds into a transformative history. This connection emphasizes the interconnectedness of humble beginnings and their potential to influence global spiritual and historical transformations. Thus, Nazareth remains a vital symbolic starting point for the unfolding of a narrative that has deeply impacted human history. In the serene village of Nazareth, a young woman named Mary received a profound message from an angel, heralding the conception of Jesus. This pivotal moment is a cornerstone of Christian theology, signifying the divine announcement of the birth of Jesus Christ, who is believed to be the Savior and the Son of God. The event is commonly referred to as the Annunciation and is celebrated by Christians worldwide as a foundational moment in the New Testament narrative. The significance of this event extends beyond its religious implications. It represents hope, divine intervention, and the fulfillment of prophecies found in the Old Testament, thus bridging the Judaic past with the Christian future. Illustrating the importance of this moment, the journey of Mary and Joseph to Bethlehem is a testament to the notion of prophecy fulfillment, as foretold in scriptures like Micah 5:2. Despite the humble and challenging circumstances of their travel, their story is a symbol of faith and obedience that resonates deeply within Christian teachings. This journey also connects to broader themes of humility and trust in divine providence, regardless of one's societal status, thus emphasizing the universal reach of their message. Real world applications of this narrative can be seen in various cultural and religious traditions today. For example, the celebration of Christmas marks the birth of Jesus, a time when people gather to remember and reenact this journey and narrative in nativity scenes and church services. Additionally, the concept of divine messages inspiring change has parallels in contemporary stories of individuals embarking on transformative paths after receiving what they perceive as higher callings, showcasing the enduring nature of such themes. While many hold this event in high regard, some alternative viewpoints challenge its historical authenticity, questioning the divine elements of the story or proposing it as a symbolic rather than literal narrative. Skeptics often view this account as a myth constructed for theological purposes, differing from those who uphold its sacred truths. Overall, the Annunciation and birth of Jesus influence other aspects of Christian doctrine, including the emphasis on divine intervention and redemption. These events reinforce the central message of hope and salvation that permeates the Christian gospel, serving as a guiding light for believers across the world. Through this lens, the journey from Nazareth to Bethlehem is more than a physical traversal. It is a spiritual odyssey that continues to inspire faith and devotion. In the biblical narrative set in the serene village of Nazareth, Mary's divine encounter with the angel Gabriel is a pivotal moment in Christian theology. This encounter, known as the Annunciation, refers to the event where the angel Gabriel visits Mary and informs her that she will conceive and give birth to Jesus, the Son of God. This moment is not merely a spiritual encounter, it represents the divine intervention of God in human history and signifies the beginning of the New Testament's account of the life and teachings of Jesus Christ. The significance of the Annunciation within the broader narrative is profound. It sets the stage for the birth of Jesus, fulfilling Old Testament prophecies and validating the claims of Jesus' divine origin. This encounter emphasizes themes of faith, obedience, and divine purpose, as Mary humbly accepts her role in God's plan despite the personal and societal challenges she would face. Mary's acceptance and faith are celebrated as a model for believers, demonstrating unwavering trust in divine will. Throughout history, this narrative has inspired countless artistic representations, such as paintings, sculptures, and music, illustrating its enduring impact on culture and religion. The Feast of the Annunciation is celebrated annually in Christianity, commemorating Mary's acceptance of her unique mission, which continues to inspire discussions on faith, grace, and divine purpose. However, this narrative also invites diverse opinions and interpretations. Some view it as a cornerstone of Christian faith, signifying God's direct intervention in the world, while others see it through a more symbolic or metaphorical lens, questioning the literal interpretation of angelic messages and virgin births. Critics and skeptics may challenge the historical and scientific feasibility of such an event, prompting discussions on the nature of miracles and faith's role in understanding historical religious events. Despite potential controversies, Mary's encounter profoundly influences the story of Jesus' birth and the subsequent journey to Bethlehem with Joseph. It connects to the larger narrative of Jesus' life, his teachings, and the foundational beliefs of Christianity. This divine moment also highlights themes of prophecy, fulfillment, and spiritual destiny, serving as a catalyst for the events that follow, including the journey guided by a luminous star and the homage of wise men, thereby marking the dawn of a new era in religious history. In the serene village of Nazareth, a young woman named Mary received a message from an angel that was both startling and sacred. This moment, known as the Annunciation, is a cornerstone of Christian theology, signifying the divine inception of Jesus Christ. The Annunciation is much more than a biblical event. It encapsulates the miracle of incarnation, God's entry into human history, which is fundamental to Christian belief. From this moment, the narrative unfolds a divine plan that fulfills ancient prophecies, most notably emphasized when Mary and Joseph journey to Bethlehem, resulting in the birth of Jesus. The significance of this event is profound, as it sets in motion a series of occurrences that shape the course of religious history. First, it underlines the notion of prophecy fulfillment, as foretold in the Old Testament, that the Messiah would be born of a virgin in Bethlehem. Second, it demonstrates the divine and humble origins of Jesus, highlighting themes of humility and simplicity. The celestial announcement by the angel and the guidance of the star to Bethlehem are elements that transcend the temporal and root the story in divine orchestration. Examples of this narrative's real world application include the celebration of Christmas, which commemorates the birth of Jesus. This global tradition emphasizes peace, goodwill, and charity, ideals central to the teachings of Jesus. Additionally, the journey of the wise men, or magi, symbolizes the universality of Jesus' message, as they were figures from distant lands recognizing his significance, illustrating the breaking of ethnic and cultural boundaries within Christianity. Opinions in support of this narrative emphasize its theological richness and symbolic depth. Many see it as a narrative of hope and divine intervention in human affairs. This point connects deeply to themes of divine intervention and fulfillment of prophecy throughout the Bible. It influences Christian doctrines related to Christ's nature and mission, and its resonance extends into symbolic celebrations and theological discussions. The narrative of Mary, Joseph, and the angel is not only a story of faith, but a complex interplay of prophecy, divine promise, and historical fulfillment, which continues to inspire millions around the world.